Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it.
Good morning, everybody. Cowboy here, aka Nick, and we're taking a look here at the NASDAQ. We did just have some employment data come out, so let's zoom in on the low time frame, and we'll come back and talk about the NASDAQ at large later. So let's just go ahead and see what the charts say. Then we'll take a look at data. Not much of a move on the charts based on the data. So we are looking at it's a 5-minute chart, and really kind of a nothing burger on the candle. So let's go ahead and take a brief look at what the data says for employment. Kind of mixed data. Earnings went down by just a few ticks. The employment change is up a fair amount. It's about twice as many jobs as expected. Unemployment rate is up by just 1 tick. So we're not seeing a whole ton of, it's almost like a nothing burger. The data is not really changing too much. So we'll go back to the charts here and we'll take a look at the NASDAQ and whether or not we think that this rally will sustain. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at what's been going on the past week or two in the NASDAQ. We've been talking about this quite a bit. And if you look at the charts since recent FOMC minutes data came out, we do have kind of a bright look. We have a look where the NASDAQ was falling, and as it hit basically a support around 24,000, price bounced up for a rally. And the question is whether or not this rally can be sustained. Is the market going to catch right here? Well, let's take a look at the percentage drop first. From the top, the move down was a total loss of about 7%. That's significant, 7% off the highs. However, off of the lows, we are looking at an increase of 3.5%. So effectively, about half of the losses have been regained. It's not actually the case because of the way percentages work. It's a little bit less than half. But either way, that is pretty significant for only 2 days of price action to get back that much of this. The way to really look at this is it's down now 5% off the highs instead of 7. Give me just one moment. Okay, you didn't want to hear that. All right, so basically that's 5, 2, 2, and a 7. Yeah, so again, we're losing about 2/3 of, we got back about 1/3 of what we lost, right? And that's significant. That's a lot of money. So that said, will this sustain? Looking at the algos, I think we're going to see, I think there's more, I think there's more blood to come. If price caught right here, I would be rather surprised. I do think that based on what we're seeing as far as money's being moved around, people being short on positions, Peter Thiel selling all of his NVIDIA and going short, which happened more than 30 days ago because we know about it now, right? The way that 13F filings work. So I think we're going to see this. It might kind of move around here and there, but I think eventually it's going to make its way down to the 24,000 level. And how it behaves at that level is really going to be very telling right now. Do we have any news coming out tomorrow that is of any significance? We have manufacturing PMI. I mean, this can be powerful to price if in fact the news is significant, right? So we'll see about that. As far as today is concerned, I think we're going to see some sideways action and then down. It might, and what I just drew is like way exaggerated. I'll jump down to the 3-hour actually to describe what I think is going to play out. Apologies, that was the 3-hour. So I think it'll be something like not a lot and then back down. That's most likely what's going to happen. I mean, there's always a chance that we see other things happen, maybe a move up to test this local resistance, but I don't think it's going to do that. I think the market knows, and I could be wrong about that. I'm just basing it on the algos. We could see just a brief move up and retest on the NASDAQ and then a move down. All right, so I think Friday will close a little bit bearish compared to today. And that's just what I think, and I could be wrong. Let's see if there are any requests in the comments section. Nothing yet. Don't forget, if you're watching this after the fact, I take requests. We had somebody that wanted to see MicroStrategy. They left a request in the comment section on YouTube. Like they're watching it after the fact. They left a comment. They wanted to see it. And I went ahead and charted that yesterday. So if you guys want to see whatever it is, it might be your favorite crypto. It might be you want to see how Platinum's doing, whatever it is, leave your request, and I will try to get to that. Ideally, it's done during the show, but after the show is fine as well. Okay, so let's get back into the charting itself. USDJPY, very interesting. This thing just didn't stop going up yesterday. It was uncontrollably going up, and there's still a fair amount of bullishness left in this pair, but I do think that we're going to see price stall out a bit, maybe pull back, maybe not. We're looking on the 30-minute chart, so notable move here based on that data. So the word is on the Japanese yen that they might want to unwind the carry trade. There's a lot of articles out there about it, and there's a lot of people that are pretty smart who I respect, and they're genuinely concerned about Japanese economy. There are other people who I also respect who are not worried about it. I think that the carry trade unwind is not as big of a deal as people are making it. Now, if they truly were going to unwind it all the way, yes, I do think that would reverberate quite strongly in the markets. I also think that this might be a catalyst to push prices down. And I think I think when you have guys like Peter Thiel going short, other individuals spinning up lots of money and not deploying it, I think people going to cash and raising cash is an indication that they're waiting for the market to fall. And, that's that. Oh, I don't know. I mean, we got Coop in the private comments saying that the carry trade unwind was a big deal in 2024. I don't define big deal. I mean, it didn't really, you saw the market fall. Don't get me wrong, but we have to look at things from a realistic aspect, right? So let's look at the NASDAQ. Everything has to be looked at relatively. That's what I'm trying to say. So the 2024, this is your tariff unwind in 2024. I mean, look, I'm not throwing shade at anybody, especially my friend Koo, but that's not a big deal. It's not a very big deal. It's a blip. So when you have this is a move up going from 2022, right? And you're looking at a total move up of 100% in the NASDAQ. 100%. Just think about that. So from the bottom in 2022 up to just before the unwind, you had a 100% move up in the NASDAQ. NASDAQ doubled. Japanese unwind, you had a drop of 17%. Not a big deal. Got caught really quickly. Look, it is a big deal if it continues. It will be a big deal in a relative sense, right? Like the Japanese yen unwind, this 17% happened, and then they changed course, and it kept going up, right? So, and this is why I said earlier, if they truly unwind the trade, completely unwind the trade, that is probably going to be a big deal. But I don't think that that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to unwind it over time incrementally like they did back here in 2024. I think they're going to kind of unwind it a bit, reel it back, unwind it a bit, reel it back, because the markets don't really want that kind of volatility. And I think that they're going to use that. I think that what's going on here is that guys like Peter Thiel going to cash, guys like Warren Buffett going to cash and bonds, guys like Burry just seeing what's coming. But you have all these very, Ellison spinning up probably what's going to really truly be over $1 trillion. It's, we know about several hundred billion, but I think that turns into trillions, especially when you start to use options contracts and things like that. So you have trillions being spun up, getting ready to go. And as far as I know, not being deployed or being deployed short. And I think the Japanese wanted to go ahead and maybe even needed to protect their currency in 2024 and started to. And then you had a conversation with, say Jerome Powell or somebody important saying, hey, hold on, we can unwind this. We know you have to save your economy, to save your currency, but wait until like the time is right. And so they probably, for example, allowed more of it to happen here in the tariff tantrum, right? That's probably where you saw that happen again, because, hey, it's going down, let it go now, right? And so basically it might be like, hey, we know you need to do it, but don't do it yet. Wait until things are, wait until we need the market to go down. So you have everybody prepping, going to cash, right? And then all of a sudden, like that's probably when you're going to see this talk of the yen carry trade unwinding, and as long as the market is going down and these guys are like ready for it to go down and they have their money ready and the right people are ready for it to go down, you'll see the carry trade unwind. And then when it's time to catch the market again, right, whether it's in a month or 2 or 3, whatever, you'll probably hear news of, oh well, they're going to change and it's not going to unwind again. So that's why I think it's not a big deal. A true unwind of the carry trade would be because the Japanese market has, the Japanese yen's been like what's holding the market up. It's the liquidity solution for like the entire world market. So understand if that unwinds, it's a big deal, and it will. I just don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be all at once. That's my point. Japanese yen itself, this is a massive move up. It is going to come down at some point. Now, is that point now, later? Well, there is some very key resistance right here. So there's a good chance that this trade is going to get sick. I was taking some small shots at this yesterday, just, lost little tiny bits of money with like massive risk to reward trades going low time frame, thinking it's going to pop down. And then the news this morning did cause this crazy candle to take place. So we're going to see once this market absorbs the news, whether or not there is a trade. Technically, there is a double top at this point on this trade. We might be able to see price head down. Last quick look at Bitcoin before we move on to the private live lab. Bitcoin continuing on the path that I have drawn going back several days. So, I do expect this, price to really kind of break down below 90,000. And it is currently bouncing. This is on the 30-minute chart, folks, but it is bouncing at the 88,000. So we are seeing price kind of bounce there, but will it continue down is the question. Will it continue down? I think it will. As long as the NASDAQ is moving down, Bitcoin will move down. And as a matter of fact, the NASDAQ has been pulling up while Bitcoin continues to shrink. So Bitcoin could be telling you the future of what's going on with NASDAQ. It's hard to say right now, but if I were to overlay the NASDAQ on top of Bitcoin briefly, right before we go to the live lab here, let's add a new price scale. You can see that this actually is coordinating pretty well, right? And that's just how it's always really been. Not always, but it is a very common thing for these two to track. So you very, very clear what's going on. Obviously, you're seeing the overnight break, futures open and stuff like that, but or weekend. The weekend is when it goes flat, but essentially, the NASDAQ is going to track with Bitcoin. So. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. No problem, Lisa. Thanks for coming on to hang out with us for the morning. If you guys have requests, put them in the comment section on YouTube, and I'll get to those in the next live lab. Also, there's a free algo. Get your link in the description, right? You can use that algo to learn how to build algos. You watch me build it, watch me turn it into code with Grok, and then I show you the solutions that traders are using to connect their algos that they have tested to their broker so they can have it trade for them while they're not sitting at the computer. So we will catch you all later. Don't forget.
Join us or die.
Just kidding. You're not going to die.